All right. Good evening, hockey fans of all ages, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you for joining us on the Scabbard. I'm Dave Valente. A three-game winning streak. So the good feels are all back after a tough 0-3 start on the season. The Sabres have reached NHL 500 after Saturday's uh 4-2 victory over, or 4 to I'm sorry, 5-3 victory over the Detroit Red Wings. Um yeah, it's good to see the Sabres back at NHL 500 and not taking, months and months to do that. It's now about continuing to build upon the good things that have happened the last week. And there are some things that the Sabres do definitely need to clean up. They're not playing perfect hockey. Um, the power play is still struggling, even though it finally got his first goal of the season. That was kind of the good feels that came from that finally happening, were erased by a shorthanded goal. So let's talk about what happened in that Detroit game. So the Sabres got out to leads of 2-0 and 3-1, including that 2-0 lead was the first power play goal of the season by Tage Thompson. Nice cross crease pass that he was able to bury. And then the or not, I'm sorry, it wasn't Tage Thompson. It was Tage Thompson with the howitzer, hardest shot that's been recorded with the NHL Edge system at 104 something miles an hour. And then the rebound was picked up by Jason Zucker, who potted it top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. So that was the first power play goal of the game, or first power play goal of the season, 9 games in, and gave the Sabres a 1-0 lead. They extended the lead to 2-0, then 3-1 in the second period before the some bad defensive decisions, some bad defensive play. led to a couple of goals, getting the Red Wings back in the game, including a really bad shorthanded goal. The goal was not great from Luukkonen's standpoint, but the pass that led to the breakaway was a very bad pass, very weak pass. Really put Tage Thompson in a bad situation with a player right on top of him as soon as he got the puck, and Detroit goes down, scores, and ties the game at 3. Um, Yeah, it was tough to watch, but it was good to see the Sabres kind of rally. Owen Power, getting the essentially the game-winning goal, or I'm sorry, it wasn't Owen Power's, uh, oh gosh, I can't even remember who got the goal, but, got a goal, there late in the second period, which ended up being the game-winning goal. Very back and forth 3rd period. I thought the Sabres played pretty well in the 3rd period. Um There were some scrambly moments there at the end. Patrick Kane had a couple of chances. I mean, really guilty chances that to tie the game. He didn't handle the puck well on the first pass to him and had, pretty wide open net when that then the second chance he banged the puck off the net, and allowed for Jack Quinn to pick the puck up and fire a nice, three-quarter court shot in for an empty net goal to give the Sabres a 5-3 victory. So the Sabres again moved to 4-4-1 on the season. At the time of that victory, they were actually second in the Atlantic Division. The Atlantic Division is nothing but parity right now. I think look at the standings here. The Atlantic Division has one, two, three, four, five teams that are 4-4-1 right now with the Sabres. I guess on tiebreakers because that they are the top team. I think it's based off of goal differential, the way the tiebreakers are going, because all the other tiebreakers are pretty much even at this point. And then eighth place is Ottawa, and they're 4-4-0. So there's tons of parity. The team that we're playing tonight is the team that everybody in the division is looking up at. The Florida Panthers, in fact, the state of Florida is ruling the roost in the Atlantic Division with the Florida Panthers at 6-3-1, and the Tampa Bay Lightning at 8-5 and or I'm sorry, 5-3-0 after 8 games. So, um, yeah, the Sabres have righted the ship to some extent. Again, it's really now about becoming a consistent winning hockey team. Um, they could have really fell off the face of the earth with the way that they started the season, and it's good to see them get their legs under them. Now it's all about getting a consistent 60-minute effort. The concern with the Detroit game and with the concern we've seen with the last few games is that they've gotten out to leads and then they've given up those leads, and they cost me in that Pittsburgh game. The Sabres were able to maintain in the last couple of games against Chicago and Detroit and Dallas. They were able to maintain enough to win those games, but um, yeah, it's something you once you get a lead, the good teams don't allow those teams to get closer, and we're not seeing that enough right now. So it feels like a winning streak that kind of like those 10-game winning streaks we had back in the day. Those 2 years where we had 10-game winning streaks and didn't make the playoffs because structurally, they got lucky for most of those streaks, but the fundamentals of the teams were not good enough to maintain the points needed to stay in those races. So let's talk about the Florida Panthers. They Sabres opponent tonight. They are 6-3-1, leading the Atlantic Division. Sabres beat a very shorthanded Florida Panthers team on 5-2 on October 12th. Their first victory of the season. And we had goals from Greenway, Thompson, Jokiharju, and Samuelson and Tuck with the empty netter. And Devin Levi got 23 of 25 shots in the win. Tonight's not going to be as easy. There are some questions for the Florida Panthers. They're getting, they're getting healthy right now. Uh, uh, they were without Sasha Barkov in that first game. They had just lost him the game before. Matthew Tkachuk couldn't play, and the lines were kind of a mishmash. They're getting Sasha Barkov back tonight. Matthew Tkachuk is in the lineup, so it's a pretty much a full lineup for the Florida Panthers, and we'll see how that changes things. The other thing to consider with the Florida Panthers is they're about to go on a long trip, just like the Buffalo Sabres had at the beginning of the season going to Prague. The uh, the uh, the Florida Panthers are going to Finland for a couple games at the end of the week. I think they're playing Dallas in Tampere, Finland. So anyway, the keys to tonight's game is tighten up that power play. Great that we got a power play goal. Continue the progress on that power play, but still for the season, we've given up more shorthanded goals than we've scored power play goals, and that's unacceptable. You got to get the power play going. One goal in 9 games is not enough. The Even to match last season's pathetic output, we're close to a half a goal a game. We got a lot of work to do. So, the goals will come eventually, but yeah, they've got to tighten up not only their offensive zone play on the power play, but the defensive zone play as well because it's been a struggle. Maintaining leads, they got to maintain. If they get out to a lead on the Florida Panthers, you want to maintain that lead. You don't want to let them back in the back in the game because they have the reputation of being the comeback cats for a reason. And then the same as last game, 60-minute focus. There are times where the Sabres seem to mentally fall asleep. To me, it was towards at the beginning of the second period on that power play, that they gave it the shorthanded goal. Um, they could have controlled that game a whole lot better than they did. Um, but they got scoring, and they've been scoring quite a bit lately. They're up to 30 goals in 9 games now. So a little over 3 goals a game for the Buffalo Sabres after really only getting 1 goal in their first 2 games. I'm sorry, 1 goal each in their first 2 games. So they've turned it on. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Florida Panthers tonight. We've got Evan Rodriguez, former Sabre alert, along with Sasha Barkov and Sam Reinhart, former Sabres alert. Carter Verhaeghe, Sam Bennett, Matthew Tkachuk on that tough second line. E2 Losterainen, Anton Lundell, and Jesper Bokus on the third line with AJ Greer, Patrick Giles, and Mackie Samoskevich. Samoskevich. Yeah. The D pairs for the Florida Panthers: Gustav Forsling with Aaron Ekblad, Nico Nicola with Dmitry Kulikov, another favorite former Sabres alert, Nate Schmidt, and Uvas Balinskis on that third pair. Change from our the previous game. The starting goalie tonight for the Panthers is Sergei Bobrovsky. So we took advantage of Spencer Knight last time out. So we're getting this team full octane on this team. So the scratches tonight, Adam Belquist. So we're not getting the two Boquist sandwich here tonight. Adam Boquist is out with that's the scratch. Thomas Nosek and Yona Godjevic are out as injuries for the Florida Panthers. Some changes on the forward lines for the Buffalo Sabres. I don't know that I absolutely agree that this would be the lines, but this is what they skated at on Sunday. This is what is, according to NHL.com, the lines are going to be. Peterka, Cousins, Tuck, and boy, I copied this from NHL.com. They misspelled Alex Tuck's name. Wow. All right. With Nicholas Kubel, Dylan Cousins, and Jack Quinn on that second line. I don't know. I'd probably put Zucker there and have Kubel on the third line with McLeod and Greenway, Beck Malenstein, Peyton Krebs, and Sam Lafferty on the fourth line. The D pairs, still no changes there. Darlene, Yoki Haru, Bowen Byram, Malone Power, Matthias Samuelson with Connor Clifton. There is some concern with Power because he did only skated one shift in the third period. If he comes out, expect I would expect Samuelson to move up with Connor Clifton skating with Dennis Gilbert as the bottom pair defenseman with Connor Clifton. Goalies, no change in this one. So Yoko Pekalukin and going with the hot hand, keeping him in nets with Devin Levi backing up. Even though Levi beat the Florida Panthers on October 12th, yeah, might as well keep the hot hand going. Saber scratches and injuries. We got Uri Kulik as a scratch with Jacob Bryson and possibly Dennis Gilbert. And then injured Zach Benson still nursing a lower body injury. Probably, let's hope that he's able to come back in that game on Friday with the Islanders. Tonight's odds per DraftKings. Play responsibly. Buffalo is a goal and a half favorite. Over under is 6, and the money line has Buffalo at a plus 124. Again, play responsibly if you decide to play at all. On this date in Sabres history, on October 28th, 2021, Rasmus Asplund scored his second goal of the game. That's a name from the past. Rasmus Asplund, when we had almost every Rasmus in the league on our team, scored a second goal of the game. 43.9 seconds left in overtime to help the Sabres after they blew a 3-goal lead against the Anaheim Ducks and get that 4-3 victory for that season. So the week ahead, we're looking at the Friday night versus the Islanders at home, and then we go on the road to take on the Detroit Red Wings for a revenge match on next Saturday, just like the Sabres. The Sabres played Detroit on Saturday, so bookending the week with the Detroit Red Wings. Our next episode is going to be Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, and we take on the New York Islanders. We'll probably have Tom Mann in the comment section telling me different things because he is a big Islander fan. So we'll check that out. Anyway, if you want to become a co-host on the show, please reach out to me on the socials. Feel free to just drop me a line if you're interested in participating, and I'll tell you how to do it. And it'll be a lot of fun. We talk about hockey and all that good stuff. So anyway, looks like we got pregame shows happening. There's the WGR pregame show with Koziel and Hamilton that's already ongoing. And in about 15 minutes, you got the MSG pregame show with Marty and Duffer. Go check those out. And let's go Buffalo. Let's go 4 in a row. Why not? Anyway, thanks everybody for joining us tonight, and we will talk.